Okay. Try something different and go ClassLink and PhD. Really?
How many science books will we have throughout the year?
Give them one thing. They do download fast. It won't let me save it, but it does download fast. Okay, so there is our first screen. And why isn't it coming up? Fabulous. They already finished it. Oh, hold on, Blake. Trying to get it work. Megan can see this PowerPoint. Stop share. There we go. All right. No, you don't wish you had giant teeth because then you'd have to have a problem of keeping them in your mouth and your mouth staying wet enough. Okay, so that's our central theme for this unit. Mickey, that extra talking I need gone. Okay, so our central theme this unit, this module is sense and response. We're focusing on the elephant as a tie back theme, kind of like the windmill was something we kept going back to, right? But the overall thing that we looked at last module was energy, wasn't it? So our overall thing that we're looking at is sense and response. Make sense? But the thing that we'll keep coming back to is elephants. Is that a little more clear?
Yes.
The bigger picture we're looking at is sense and response. So, okay, so we look at sensory structures. Can you tell me one of your sensory structures? Eyes, nose, mouth, ears. It's the things that allow you to take in your world. Okay, touch. That's exactly it. That's a big one, actually. Touch. Then sensing waves. That's what this is on the cover of your book. Those are waves. Okay. Those are to show waves. They look like scales, but those are actually sensing. That's waves.
They kind of look like a snake.
Then response, that has to do with how animals respond to the things that they sense. And honestly, I've never taught this module before. When we went on quarantine last year, when they sent us all home, that was when we were about to actually, the next day we were supposed to test, and then we were going to start module 3. So my students didn't get to test last year because they were going to test the next day. That Monday they were supposed to test, and then Tuesday we were supposed to start module 3. So we didn't get as far as what we have already. When I say we're going a little faster clip this year, we are. We have to finish everything. All right. So I've honestly never taught this, and they made everybody in Caddo start at the same point And even though all of Caddo, and I do mean all schools in Caddo other than Walnut Hill, were behind, nobody other than Walnut Hill had taught Module 3. They made everybody skip to Module 4 because that's where we were supposed to be after spring break. Remember how we had that 1 week out and then they started us on spring break? That was in the time that district, like the science team, was planning where we were going to start. And they planned just to skip Module 3. Okay, so I never have taught this. So you're learning it.
And
The content and the way it rolls at the same time that I'm learning the way it rolls. I know the content already because I have a degree and stuff. All right, so I want you guys to close your eyes. Everybody just close your eyes. Pay attention to what you're noticing.
Well, what?
No, not talking. Close your eyes and pay attention to what you notice. The sounds, what you feel. You hear a lot more when your eyes are closed. You do, because you're paying more attention. If you didn't have your nose covered, you would smell more. But your noses are covered, so your mask is blocking some of that. Okay, hold on, hold on. Eyes closed, keep them closed. Mouth closed. Even though your noses are covered up, you still smell.
Yes,
You're not paying attention to sound very well there. Y'all smell perfume? And normally you wouldn't notice it. Normally you wouldn't notice that though, especially if your nose is covered. But can you smell a little bit of the cool air coming in from the window? And normally you wouldn't notice that because your eyes would be open and you'd be paying attention to what you see in my room. There's a lot of visually stimulating things in the classroom. I know that. My room is very visually busy. But when your eyes are closed, you take in more of your other senses. Touch the desk. Does it feel cold?
No. Yeah. How does it feel cold?
Touch the metal of your chair.
Oh, yeah. It does not feel cold. Because I've been sitting on my hands the whole time. Can we try to walk down?
No. No, you're not walking through.
I've been sitting on my hands the whole time. I don't feel anything.
Okay, open your eyes.
What hurt?
Now, Bryson said he didn't realize he was walking around the room. A lot of you did because what did you observe? What? You can hear my shoes, right? Right? Did everybody hear the window open? No. Who could hear me walking over to the window? Who could hear the chair being moved? Okay. You pay attention to things more when your eyes are closed, right? Okay. And you probably smelled my perfume where you've never noticed it before. Right? Well, this being covered makes it a little bit rougher, especially if you're wearing cloth. Cloth blocks it more than paper does. Okay. So you heard my footsteps, but you probably didn't feel them, did you? I tend to walk lightly. Guys, when you're on the stairs, Something about children and stairs. Y'all tend to stomp on the stairs.
We love so many of them.
When we were younger and I would go visit my mother-in-law, my youngest brother-in-law, Wes, he was a big kid, big for his age. He would always stomp on the stairs. And we would, when we would come visit, we'd stay down in the basement, we'd stay below, and I'd always hear Wes running up the stairs. Dum, 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 dum. So I always paid attention to that. And I've always been sensitive to sound. So we lived in Louisiana, and Craig's family moved to Tennessee. So every time we come visit, we'd stay as visitors, as guests. So we'd stay in the basement, and everybody else lived upstairs. Craig's the oldest of 5 boys. We were married when we were visiting. So I learned to be quiet on stairs, and I learned to walk softly.
Well,
But children tend to walk stomping. Y'all stomp on the stairs.
I don't know.
Pay attention when you're on the stairs today. Pay attention to how your classmates walk on the stairs. Then if you have a moment, pay attention to how your teachers walk on the stairs. None of us walk hard. I don't walk slow on the stairs. I run those stairs.
Not that way.
I walk softly, but quickly.
I didn't mean to.
Okay. Did anybody feel the cool air blow in when I opened up the window? That table did. Did you feel it, Aaliyah?
Actually, not really.
You can feel a difference in the air, can't you, Joanna?
I really did.
It's a difference, right? It feels a little bit wetter, doesn't it? The air, you can smell it. It's a difference.
But on the stairs, you know what have to end is because one time I still air.
This says here that people would be able to smell the grass outside. We can't. It's not warm enough outside, and they've not mowed lately that we could smell grass. If it was a little bit warmer in the day, we might be able to smell the pine needles, but it's not. It's cool in the day and it's early in the day, so we're gonna smell the mist outside
And then people would come outside.
right now.
Don't know how.
Okay, so let me answer your question.
When you were talking about the camping, I watched this video that had this boy who, when he was 3, he lived in a house with stairs. It always went on off once he got alien when he was laughing. But he only stayed in that house for 1 week. So when he goes to his friend's house, like when he was like a teen or something, he would always like go on all fours and go. He never had a chance to grow out of it. And his parents were like,
That child is weird. Okay, all right. What patterns did you notice when you closed your eyes with your observations?
I usually do see patterns, but I've never seen them.
But I don't mean visually. But what patterns did you change what you observed when your eyes were closed?
Yeah.
Everybody changed what they observed, right? Your sense of hearing became more acute. In other words, it became more aware. You became more aware of your hearing. Haha. Yeah. Okay. If our noses weren't blocked, our sense of smell would have become much, much more acute. But we got it covered. Okay. If I would have given you guys something to taste, if you close your eyes while eating things, Logan, hush. If you close your eyes while you're eating things and you're not talking the whole time, but you're paying attention to what you're eating, if you eat in the dark, and I mean dark, because there's restaurants that used to do this, where they have the food that's served in the dark, where people are wearing blackout goggles you perceive your food differently. If you don't see it, but you only taste it, you perceive it differently. So my dog Ace is blind and deaf. He perceives his things very differently than Verona, who's over there yapping her head off at him, and he doesn't even hear it. He just feels it. Okay? He's very much into vibration. So he knows when we're coming up to him because he feels vibration. Make sense? You taste things differently if you're not letting your vision tell you what it's going to taste like.
And then some animals have like made blind, but they can hear vibration underground.
Well, we're going to get to that. Okay. How are you able to make your observations? What did you use to make your observations, Skyuna? Sound and what? Your sense of smell. So you were using your sensory receptors, right?
5 senses.
Well, other than your eyes, right? Okay, so did you realize that your touch receptors, you have a bunch of different kinds of touch receptors? I learned this in college because I never thought about this before. You've only been told that you have something to feel touch, right? You actually have different depths in your skin. You have receptors to feel heat and cold. You have receptors to feel pressure. You have receptors to feel pain. They're different receptors. Isn't that weird?
What if we didn't have a pain receptor?
Colby used to be one that didn't feel pain, and so he kept hurting himself when he was little. No, that means people get hurt really easily. And so Colby was fearless and he kept getting himself hurt. That was him when he was little. He would do everything. He climbed up walls. He climbed straight up to the top of the fridge. He was 2 and up on top of my fridge. He climbed up the walls like Spider-Man, and we're like,
What? How can I climb?
narrow hallway, and he climbed up the wall because if he fell, it didn't hurt him. And we're like, holy cow, he gave himself a concussion when he was 1 because he didn't feel pain. And that's a problem. You have all these receptors for your safety because if you don't feel pain, pain is a protector. Okay, if you don't feel pain, you can really get hurt. And some people don't feel pain, and that's a problem. Or some people who live with pain every day ignore it. You do too. You get to be really good at ignoring it, and sometimes you can ignore the pain you're not supposed to.
I can't ignore it.
Okay, so let me keep going to the lesson, okay? All right. So the word sense, you see it on the board? S-E-N-S-E? We're not talking about like sense as in you got the sense that he gave you, like brains. We're not talking about that kind of sense. We're talking about sense as in the ability to detect something about the environment. All right. We use our senses, vision, touch, smell, taste, hearing, to detect things about the environment. Okay. That's the kind of sense I'm talking about. That can be a noun or it can be a verb. I sense the light. I sense a truck outside. Okay. Sense can be a noun or a verb. A noun or a verb. Okay. I sense the cart down the hallway. Absolutely. Okay. So you guys have always been taught there's 5 senses. There's actually more than that, but at this grade level, we stick to 5 senses. Good morning, Mr. Diggs. At this grade level, you guys know that we have 5 senses. Yep. Sight, hearing, smell, touch, taste. We've always heard sense of humor. right? Y'all might know somebody who has one.
Yeah.
Or we've also heard the ending of a movie did not make sense. In other words, I didn't understand.
There were
Correct.
aliens.
They're aliens in my mind. They're aliens in Ace. He's running around in circles all the time.
And this giant werewolf chasing them in a hole.
No, seriously. Blind and deaf dogs and other animals too, if they're blind and deaf, they tend to run around in circles. It's their way of making a mental map. Morning. It's their way of making a mental map of the world because they can't see anything. And so they run around in circles. Yeah, it's pretty funny when they run into things while doing it. Colby, when he did drone footage of the snow, Verona could hear the drone coming down, so she started barking at it. Ace started running in circles because he felt the wind, and he ran in a circle into the fence.
Did it hurt?
I don't know. He's run into the truck before and gave himself a concussion.
Is it barbed
My truck is not barbed wire.
wire?
No, it's wood.
Okay.
Okay. Can you, I'm betting you guys couldn't feel my footsteps, but when we're on the stairs today, pay attention to everybody walk on the stairs.
Okay.
See if you can feel, if you can sense everybody else's footsteps on the stairs. See if you can make your footsteps light enough and don't hold up the whole line that you're going slow, because you don't have to do it slowly. Y'all know I don't go slowly on the stairs, do I?
No, I took fast and almost failed.
I'm pretty fast, but you guys can't feel my footsteps. I can feel yours. You are like a, I would say herd of elephants, but elephants actually don't walk hard. Elephants actually almost tiptoe. They walk very gently.
Elephants walk on their tiptoes.
What's that?
Elephants walk on their tiptoes.
They do. They walk very, very gently, which is what we're going to learn about. Look at your feet. Are they bare? No. Most of us, I would venture to guess, are wearing socks and shoes. Now think about animals. Other than horses, horses have a piece of metal to protect their hooves. But other than that, animals walk barefoot, don't they?
Yeah.
So what, Logan, what do animals sense about their environment that we don't?
They can feel the concrete, the hard road, the concrete.
What else are they picking up? If I brought Ace in here, what would he always be feeling?
The hard.
He would be feeling so many vibrations.
Okay.
He would even feel you guys talking.
Wow.
He would feel your vibrations from you talking. He wouldn't hear you, but he would feel your vibrations.
And in nature, some animals can hear it underground.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Like I said, Ace acts aggressive. He just does.
It's kind of weird how
He acts more wolf, and he looks like one because he's big. He's very muscular. The fact that he runs circles all the time, he's very muscular. Very muscular. What? He's very muscular. He's the biggest Aussie we've ever had. He's very muscular. Very, very. Okay. Apparently there's a big picture in the back because I don't want to show you guys this little bitty picture here. Please, senor.
The strongest person in the world is named Jack. Oh, I know that.
Okay. Look at the picture of the elephants. Look at the photo of the elephants. They are drinking the water.
They use their trunk to keep the water up.
Class. I need one of your notebooks. Hold on. They don't give me the same information that you have in your notebooks. Looking at the picture, what do you notice about the elephants in the photo? Megan's gonna go first. What do you notice about the elephants in the photo? Megan, your turn first, my dear.
I noticed that they're in groups.
They are in groups. That's the first thing I noticed too. The elephants are in little groups. Bryson,
They all have babies and they're drinking water because they might be dehydrated and
they're drinking water. It's a sunny day. And when you say they all have babies, what do you mean by that?
like they're all in families. You can see.
So it looks like little families and each family group has a little baby in it. Okay, or two. All right, you had your hand up for a minute, Michaela. What do you notice?
I noticed that it is pretty dry out there, like a desert.
Uh-huh. All right, what does Hunter notice about the picture?
They're all tasting
They're all tasting what?
water.
All tasting water, okay? They are using their senses. Good job, Innocente, using one of our new words. New word that I know you guys have heard before, but it is our new word for this whole unit. What do you notice about the picture of Miss Winstead? Miss has a very dignified last name. Maybe she'll have a hotel named after her one day. The Winstead Hotel chain. Sounds like one, doesn't it? They're at a watering hole.
Yeah. And it
Look right in front of that elephant that's closest to us. There's something in that watering hole.
looks like a gator.
Could be something like a gator. Could be.
I know what it's saying.
That could make the whole thing a lot more interesting, couldn't it?
And they drank it.
Yes, ma'am. She is in Miss Daniel's room right now.
It's the,
Well, you have to think, crocodile has to eat too.
It's a desert.
It could be a desert at that time. It could be one of those places that floods at times and is dry at other times. And that's the watering hole where several different kinds of animals gather because they're all what? Thirsty. They have to have what? Every single animal on the planet has to have water.
They can't have soda.
Yeah, they're not gonna drink. They're smarter than to drink sodas. Okay.
I don't think it will be.
Ricardo, what do you notice? What is it? Well, look at the background. What do you see? Hush, hush. I only want to hear Mr. Rodriguez. Everybody else be quiet. I got one-way hearing here right now. I only hear him. Go for it, sir. What else do you see? No. Some trees. Are they very tall?
No.
Do they look really green, Ricardo? No. So it looks like it's really dry out there, doesn't it? Right? And it looks like it's really flat too, doesn't it? Okay. What do you have to add to it, Kayla? It does look like Africa. Let me tell you how I can't zoom in because that's on PowerPoint. All right, so if you look as closely as you possibly can, if you focus on the elephant's ears, don't know if you can tell, but those ears are really big in relation to the size of the elephant. African elephants have really big ears. Asian elephants have really small ears. African elephants, their ears are big. And those guys are not being photographed close up. Whoever took that photo is probably far off, because their ears, if there was a human nearby, their ears would be out. You've seen the pictures of the elephants with their ears out. That means they're really upset and they're about to attack.
Yeah, they're kind of aggressive.
Oh, they're very aggressive. They will kill a human in a heartbeat. Those are relaxed. They're there at the watering hole, even with a crocodile looking right at that one little family grouping. Do y'all see what I'm talking about right here? At least it's not a smiling crocodile. It's just a crocodile. Even with the crocodile right there, that's probably why those elephants are just at the edge of the water instead of in the water right there. So the actuality is, even with crocodiles in the water, the elephants have to have water to drink, otherwise they die. So they're going to walk to the side where the crocodile is not, and they're going to be careful. Okay. Using what we know about our own senses, what might you notice about your environment if you were an elephant at that watering hole?
I would run.
I'm going to call on people so we're not shouting out, okay? Innocente, what might you notice about your environment if you were one of those elephants at the watering hole?
Not very.
There's not a lot of water. It's not a very big pond, is it? Not exactly a running river. What else, Logan?
There's a crocodile in the water.
That your predators sitting
I'm
literally
sitting right there.
waiting for you. It's saying, "Come here, big steak. I'm waiting for you." Yeah, come on. I'm waiting for all the steaks to step in the water. Okay. What else might you notice about the environment if you were one of those elephants, Bryson?
It's very dry and invasive.
It's very dry. And what else do you think that land might be, or that environment might be, based on that photo?
Very not that much water.
It's not that much water. It's dry. What else, guys?
Very sunny.
It's very sunny.
The trees are dead.
There's not much green. You're circled all around it. Joanna. Reflection of the elephant, which means the sun is probably high overhead based on where the shadows are. So what do you think it feels like there? Hot. It's probably hot. It's dry. The sun is right overhead, which has given the elephants plenty of reasons to get in the water, even with a croc not too far away.
Yeah. They don't have an AC, so like.
Yeah, there's no air conditioning.
No.
I'm guessing the water areas are few and far between, which is why they will get in the water when there's a croc nearby. But look at the placement of the babies. The babies are behind the adults, aren't they?
Yeah, they have like this.
They're protecting their babies.
Yeah, so they don't get eaten. But that was wide open. Ready for a touchdown.
But there's not a croc over there that we can see. The fact that we see land in the middle of that pond tells you that pond is probably
Very small. Nothing with that
small and shallow. It's not a very deep pond. Do you think that pond will be there very long? No. Okay. What else, if you were one of those elephants, do you think you would sense using your senses? What else do you think you would experience? You would sense. It would feel hot. Michaela, I need you paying attention to this, not your pencils. What else would you sense if you were an elephant there in that environment? It's hot, it's dry. Do you think those adult elephants closest to us are kind of scared of that crocodile? When you get really, really scared, does your stomach get upset?
Yes.
Mine does. So those two elephants closest to us might be feeling some physical effects of fear from that crocodile, right?
Stop on it.
Crocodiles are very, very strong.
Oh, no. I'm like, I want to do that.
What else would those elephants be feeling? What senses? What would their senses be perceiving? What would they hear and see? Right, Skyuna's answering right now. They could hear and see the crocodile, perhaps. The ones right there could. Maybe the ones across the pond might not hear them. They maybe don't see them. I don't know. But how else could they sense him?
Him moving in the water.
They could possibly feel him moving in the water. They maybe smell him, maybe, possibly.
They can move the water.
What'd you say? I can't hear Kayla. When he moves, they could see the waves, maybe, depending on what the crocodile, how careful he was in the water. What else would those elephants hear? Melanie? They would hear each other splashing, right? Do you think the elephants are making noise while they're at the pond?
Yeah.
They're probably doing a little bit of that trumpeting, right? With their, right? They're probably making some elephant sounds. Do you think they can see a lot of the land around them?
Yes.
There's not big trees. So they have a large area they can see, yes?
But their eyes are small.
Their eyes are small, because they're prey, they're gonna be able to see, how does it go? Our eyes can see straight ahead. Prey eyes can see around. So they could be always watching for predators. So they're gonna be able to see all around themselves. Be watching for predators because they're prey. Okay, so the observations are examples of information that you're picking up from the environment, right? Just like when I open up the window, you can feel the difference in the air in here now, can't you? The air in this room feels a little bit wetter. It does. It doesn't feel as dry as it did before I opened up the window. Okay. What you see in here, that gives you information about this classroom, does it not? What you see on my board every day gives you information about what I'm going to teach in here, correct? What those elephants hear tells them information about each other. If they hear the crocodile, they're going to get information that there is a crocodile there. They can taste the water, so they know what's in the water, right? They feel the heat, so they know it's hot outside. So your senses give you information. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. Similar to the elephants in the photograph, humans and other animals use their senses to get information about the environment to monitor what all is going on around them. Everywhere you go, you use your senses to gather information about everything around you. And you're picking up information all the time. For some people, it becomes overwhelming getting all that information all the time. Okay. To further investigate how elephants sense information in the environment, we're going to read an excerpt from an article. Already did this. Oh, wow. Okay, there's the article. It's small. Or they really made that small. Let me find, I'm gonna see if they have it in the back of the book, because if they do, I can make it larger. No. Oh, yep, found it. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing this and I'm gonna share my Elmo, okay? Class. Stop share. Share again. Look at the title of this article. So let me look up a city that's 150 miles away. I think I know one, but I'm gonna make sure. Okay, so everybody look up the title of that article. Elephants able to detect rainstorms 150 miles away. From Shreveport to Dallas is 180 miles. So if an elephant were to be standing in Shreveport, it would be able to detect a rainstorm right outside of Dallas. And I don't mean because it's watching the news. It would be able to detect a rainstorm from right outside of Dallas. So let's read the article and find out how that occurs. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? All right. So let me get my friend's attention. You guys stop with the extra talking and pay attention, okay? You're going to have to fill out a notice and wonder chart in a few minutes based on this. So I need everybody paying attention. Lions may be the kings of the animal world, but at least elephants could make up for spunky meteorologists. Or however it makes sound. Easton does a great elephant sound. He did it this morning. New research is revealing that elephants have a radar like Spidey sense, capable of detecting an approaching rainstorm up to 150 miles off. An international team of researchers uncovered this uncanny ability after analyzing elephant migrations in Namibia. The elephants undergo these sudden migrations. What is a migration?
Like if it's starting to get cold here and jump to flat.
No, Melanie. To migrate means to move. So it would be elephants moving from one place to another. Okay. Humans also can migrate. That just means they move to another place. It's not like going vacationing somewhere. I need all the joking aside so we can do the study. When animals migrate, they will, in a large group, so say 1,000 sometimes, will move from one area to another area It could be 50 miles off. It could be 100 miles off. Caribou might move 2,000 miles away, and they do that every year. So elephants undergo these sudden migrations that previously have not been explained. Oliver Frauenfeld, a geology professor at Texas A&M and an author on the study, tells Popular Science. They've been observed to change the places they go and the speeds they go rather quickly. So they didn't know why. Frauenfeld and his colleagues were hoping to figure out if an environmental trigger was to blame for changes in the herd's movements. The researchers plotted the herd's movements for a period of 7 years. And sure enough, they found that the elephants kept changing course during the region's rainy season. They used GPS tracking data for 9 elephants that carried receivers. Each elephant belonged to a different herd in the area. In Namibia, it's mostly hot and dry all year round, but there is a distinct rainy period from January to March. During this time, the researchers observed that the elephants could sense thunderstorms that were hundreds of miles off, seemingly predicting rain days before it occurred. The herds would then change their directions to meet the oncoming storms. Pretty crazy, right? So write what you notice and what you wonder. Page 3 in your notebook. I'm going to leave this up. Maya, if you need a pencil, come get one of mine. You're spending so much time fumbling for a pencil. Get one right here. Literally would take you 30 seconds, including the walking time. So I need 4 on each side. It's going to be worth 8 points, okay? 4 notices and 4 wonders. If you want one of them to be from the picture that we already did, that's fine too, okay?
What if there's facts that we already know that we didn't want to do this, like the actual facts on them?
No, based on this and one of your pairs can come from the pictures of your picture we already looked at, okay? Diaz, did you do renewable energy? Where is it? Joanna, did you finish renewable energy? What is it? There's another one on my board you can grab. You're probably gonna have enough time to get it done today. Right there. Check this one. It's not due to the end of the day, so just keep going. You'll have time during lunch, yeah, too, okay? I moved your seat up the desk, that way you can see better. See if you can see from that spot. Like at least one at every table. All right, I need to talk and stop. That work? Can you see over her? Is it because the tables are offset a little bit that you can see over her? I had her in the back. She's tall, but she can't see from back there. Alleviate points. I gave everybody 5 points participating in the discussion today too. So easy, 13 points today, okay? And no, I'm not great at any of your tests, but I did get 10 hours of sleep, so I'm full of energy for all you people, and I'm in a better mood today. Yeah, I didn't help my son with biology at all last night though, so when I get home, I have to help with all his biology work. For some reason people think I have to help with biology. Yeah, that's why. Thanks. That was my fastest one ever. Okay. These are your notices and wonders about the article, and you can also use the picture that we looked at already. What is it? Can't do that unless I move it off that.
Hey, we can put a wonder on there.
I need 4 notices and 4 wonders. Okay, currently my students' grades for science: Logan 94A, Skyuna 88B, Diaz 80C, Michaela 85B, Gassett 92A. I haven't put in your grade for today for you, Megan, and I haven't put in the infographic from yesterday yet. That'll probably bump you up to an A. Can you hear me, Megan?
Yes, ma'am.
Hunter and my red letters. Kayla 80C, Joanna 96A, Aaliyah red letter, but it's the top of it, the highest one possible. So another day of doing what you need to do, and you'll be out of red. Okay. Allie 96A, Melanie 95A, Bryson 79C, Ricardo 91B. That's a really high B, dude. 1 or 2 more good grades, and it's gonna bump it up to an A. Hey, Haley 83C, Kimber 96A. Again, I've not graded anybody's test yet. My grades will start today. Hopefully grades don't start dropping like bombs when I start grading tests.
Oh, no. What? You haven't graded them yet?
I've already said that several times.
I'm getting 4 out of 4. More questions?
Okay, sorry, guys.
Hello?
Okay, has everybody finished their notice and wonder? Okay, you have 2 more minutes, and then I'll move it to the picture. Logan, 5 minutes off recess. No, seriously. I've been very patient with you. Have a seat, Michaela. Here is the photo. Closer view of it. Yeah, that's a croc. And they did not even mention that on my teacher stuff, but that's a croc.
Is that the baby elephant? Hyena?
That is a hyena, and that is maybe another hyena. And there's some kind of animals back here. Well, you've got multiple animals who depend upon that watering hole. It's not going to be just the elephants that use a watering hole. Hyenas have to work in a whole pack. They work in a large group. They're very aggressive, but it's not going to be 2 that are going to take down even a baby. It's going to be a bunch of them to take down a baby. And there's something moving right here. Or no, that's a log. That's a log. But there's something back here. No, those aren't rocks, those are animals. So that same watering hole is going to sustain life for a lot of different animals. There's going to be zebras in there at a different time. There's going to be wildebeest. There's going to be various animals. Please stop rolling those pencils, okay? What's soothing to you is anxiety provoking for another. And guys, what we're noticing is more than what the people who wrote the words for this book wrote, because they did not even mention the crocodile. But that's what that is. If you notice, this elephant's turned away from it. I'm probably telling the younger ones to back up. And it's standing in the water. That's probably the bull elephant, the male, telling them to get back.
It's brave.
Yes, it's being brave. It's probably telling them, come on, I want to get my long steaks out the water. My legs aren't really wanting to be chewed on today.
Move your leg.
How big or what? Crocodiles, they can be 16 to 20 feet long.
Yeah, they
Saltwater crocs are big, and they're more aggressive than alligators.
They stand on their tail.
Yes, they can.
I'm done. I thought that was a kangaroo in the background. At first I thought it was a big girl.
You guys keep asking me about Ace. That's Ace, the white one. Yeah, blind and deaf. The other one, no, the other one's Bella Blue. She's been dead for a year or so. She had a seizure and died. The other one, yeah. Yeah, but that's Ace. You see how his eyes are messed up? They're both blue. They're both blue. He's aggressive, but he's the most muscular Aussie we've ever had.
But he's cute though. I like his cute. He looks mad. You better call that.
He's hyper. He's always hyper. He's always moving. He's never still. There's his one brown patch. He's always moving. Always running.
What about Cookie?
She's a lot calmer. She and Ace don't get along. That's why we can't keep them in the same yard together. He's too aggressive with her. I thought I had a picture of the crocodile from when we went to Costa Rica, but I don't. I will bring that picture back Monday. Yeah, we had a crocodile try to eat Colby when we went on a tour. I got a great picture of the crocodile because she got real close to us.
We got to hold a baby alligator.
Oh, we did too. I mean, this is an adult in a river. It wasn't like a pet. It was in the river. She tried to join us in the boats. Yeah, I got a great picture of her when she came out of the water. I'll have to bring it Monday. All right. So who you don't mess with, right? I mean, you got a group of those. Yeah.
Baby alligators are like super soft. They have to keep their mouth closed. I have one at school. I have a baby alligator at school. I have one at
Yes, those are baby alligators. They're not quite as aggressive as crocodiles. Crocodiles are more aggressive. And what's up there at the male elephant's heels is a croc. I can't hear multiple people at once, and Michaela was talking.
You can't keep my little dog. I did German Shepherd Raja with my dog named Caramel. Named Caramel is my dad. He's on naming our dogs after him dogs. And Roger Caramel is an aggressive eater.
Okay, you're going to make a class notice and wonder chart. Yeah, sometimes one dog just doesn't do well with another, right?
That's why that's
Because both of those animals are usually jerks. That's what Colby is called. All right. Class notice and wonder. We're gonna run out of time. We gotta get on this. Right? Cookie. You know what Miss Smith and I were joking about yesterday? I was like, that's bad. All right, someone tell me one of their notices. Bryson, you gotta sit and do it though.
They can hear up to 150 miles away.
I'm not gonna say here, but they can sense. They can, when we say they, we're talking about elephants.
Can I say a line?
Hold on, they can sense 150 miles away. All right, go for a wonder.
How long? I mean, what's the max number of elephants in a herd? What's the max?
What is the biggest?
Number of elephants. Like winter road.
I'm gonna put like you did, max. Maximum size herd. For elephants.
I'm a wondering.
And it might depend on which continent we're talking about, which predators are, which kind of elephant. Taylor. They protect babies. Like humans do, huh?
Bear.
So the babies. Are behind the adults. All right, who has a wonder for me? Hunter.
I wonder why.
Hold on, I want to hear him. I need the other talking stuff.
I wonder why most of the elephants.
Why are most of them? Why are most elephants? Maybe calling other people. I'm gonna skip the yellow, we know that didn't show very well. Better go to Leah. Notice. What's that? Why? Well, okay. Why is there only a little bit of water? Okay. I gotta make stuffy in here, go to the second block. That way they can notice it too. All right, go for a notice, Melanie.
I have a wonder.
Okay.
What happened to the elephants after the photo was taken?
Oh, good question.
I had an elephant and oh no, I didn't.
Okay, I want to hear her own question. There's other talking. What happened to the elephants? What happened to elephants after the pic was taken? Especially regarding crocodile. Need a couple notices.
I have another.
Notice? Notice, Michaela.
It looks like they were in the bed.
Looks like they're in the desert. Yes, indeed. His name on everything. Good. All right. Anybody got another notice? Not many plants.
I have a wonder.
Hold on. All right. Innocente, wonder.
I wonder
How do they know when a predator is nearby? It's a very good question. That gets to the heart of what we're learning. How do they know when a predator is nearby? Another notice? Notice? I'm gonna change that up a little bit. Elephant's ears. Well, that's something I told y'all. It's supposed to be something y'all noticed from the picture. We're gonna put elephant's ears seem to move.
When people
Well, we didn't see any people in the picture. So we're gonna put elephant's ears seem to move for some kind of reason. Because that we can see from the picture. Okay?
I have a wonder.
All right, one more pair, and then we gotta get to lessons we learned that way.
What one of the hyenas is there? For the elephant or the dream?
Why were the hyenas there? Maybe they're just there to laugh.
Yeah, probably a laugh. Probably what? Get tired of that.
Okay. Anybody got another notice?
Yeah.
Kaina. Barely hear you. They have strong senses. Very good last notice. All right. All right. Our first notice of wonders for good. I'll put my notebook up here. Yes, I do. So turn to page 4. What patterns did the scientists notice This has to do with that article that I read to you. What patterns did the scientists notice? And I will turn it to the article in just a moment. And then why do you think the scientists called this pattern an uncanny ability of elephants? Okay, I'm going to turn back to the article for you. Be great if we mark these things in our notebook. Sit up before you fall out of your chair. That's what I'm talking to. Talking needs to go. Okay, there's your article. Answer those two questions on page 4. Answering the question on page 4, not talking. You can sit down, baby. Thank you. I just noticed something. I had to change up my answer. We were assuming they moved away from the storms. Yeah. Read that last sentence, guys. They weren't moving away from the storms.
They come to meet them. Oh, already. You get one. Oh, that's not.
Very smart. Very smart animals.
I want to do that.
Joanna,
I like that.
you can't see what? The bottom? Just sit up a little taller in your seat, I guess, or move yourself in the chair. want to sneeze, bless you.
I finished.
Okay. Send me pictures of both page 3 and 4. Okay, Megan? And that's the end of today's lesson. All right.
Okay, bye.
See you Monday. All right, dear.
Okay.
Bye.